Imagine this, you're sitting in a director's office, your stomach twisted into knots, while your manager, who used to smile at you, now stares at you like a predator about to sink their teeth in. They're accusing you of failing at your job, even though you've been breaking your back to deliver results no one else in the department could even dream of. That's exactly where I found myself, moments away from losing my job. But here's the twist, getting fired turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me. Not only did I walk away with more than a year's worth of pay, but my boss? Yeah, she got herself fired too. If you've ever dreamed of watching karma strike the people who mistreated you, smash that like button, subscribe for more stories, and get ready, because this is one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll ever hear. This story takes us back to the early 2010s. Think pre-TikTok, pre-Instagram Reels. YouTube was just starting to get traction, and companies were scrambling to figure out how to use it. I had just been hired as a content creator for a university. Not glamorous, but exciting at the time. The pay wasn't great, about $2,200 a month, but back then, video creators were rare, and I thought, hey, this is my chance to build something. Except, on my second day, my manager handed me my KPI. 85 videos. In 1 year. Now, if you're not in content creation, let me spell it out, that's insane. Not just hard, impossible. These weren't phone clips. We're talking scripted, filmed, casted, edited, and even music-composed videos. And guess what? They refused to pay for licensing music, so I had to compose it myself. Worse? Their gear was so outdated it could barely process 720p. So I had to use my own equipment. My own software. My own everything. I told my manager it wasn't realistic. She just smiled, that fake encouraging smile, and said, "Don't worry. Focus on quality. Quantity isn't everything." I wanted to believe her. So I threw myself into the work. Conflict escalation. At first, things went smoothly. She was kind, supportive even. But then, she found out I smoked. The very next day, her entire demeanor flipped. Suddenly, I was that guy. The problem employee. She nitpicked everything. "You smell like smoke after breaks. You're late even if I'd only been 5 minutes late after pulling 4 hours of unpaid overtime the night before." She scolded me for not being reachable on breaks. Every single day. I brushed it off. Just keep your head down, do the work. But deep down, I felt that gnawing dread, the one where you know no matter what you do, you're already marked. The breaking point. 5 months in, it all came crashing down. I got called into the director's office. My manager sat there beside her, with this disgusting smug look, like she'd been waiting for this moment. The director leaned forward and said she was disappointed. Out of 85 videos, I'd only made 30. Halfway through the year, and I wasn't keeping POC. My heart pounded. I explained everything. The long hours, the impossible workload, the fact that the videos I had produced were pulling record-breaking views for their channel. I even reminded them that my manager told me quality mattered more than quantity. But the director cut me off. The KPI is 85 videos. We're cutting the cord early. And then my manager, God, I'll never forget it, she actually snorted and said, "We'll find a professional production house to finish your work." The director nodded. "Don't worry, she'll get it done." And that's when the light bulb went off. Revenge planning and execution. You see, one of my responsibilities had been to maintain a database of production houses for when bigger projects came along. Guess what database they were about to rely on? Mine. So, before I walked out, I scrambled that database. I messed up emails, swapped numbers, everything. Except for one entry. A small production house where my friend worked as a junior director. I gave him a call that night. I laid out my plan. He could pitch to the university, win the contract, and in return, he'd pay me a finder's fee standard in the industry. 15%. He brought his GM into the call, and when they heard this was 6 months of work worth high six figures, they were in. I didn't just hand it to them, though. I gave them the playbook. The exact pitch to make. The themes the university wanted. The tone, the style. Everything I knew from months of blood, sweat, and unpaid overtime. And wouldn't you know it? They nailed it. When my ex-manager and the director saw their pitch, they were floored. Perfect fit. How did they understand our style so well? They signed immediately. The payoff. Here's the kicker: production houses are expensive. Like, double to triple my salary per video expensive. But they could churn out a polished video in 2 or 3 days. In just 4 months, my friend's company pumped out 50 videos. And I sat back, collected my 15% cut, and suddenly had more than a year's salary in my bank account. I used some of it for a dream trip to Bali and saved the rest to study at a respected film school overseas. Revenge complete, or so I thought. The twist. Halfway through sipping a drink on the beach, my old colleague called me. Remember the one who warned me my manager hated smokers? She had news. Apparently, the whole project had only been budgeted for about a year and a half of my salary. But thanks to my manager's desperation to prove she could finish the job, she blew past that budget by over 10 times. She didn't even get approval from the director before signing off. The chancellor himself stepped in. My old manager? Fired on the spot. The director? Absolutely chewed out. And me? I wasn't just vindicated, I was thriving. The same woman who treated me like trash, who mocked me as she pushed me out the door, ended up humiliated, jobless, and blamed for the very disaster she tried to pin on me. Meanwhile, I was literally toasting. On a beach in Bali with enough money to change my future. That, my friends, is what we call poetic justice. You know what this taught me? Sometimes, walking away isn't losing, it's setting the stage for karma to do its work. When people underestimate you, when they disrespect you, they often dig their own graves. You just have to let them. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button, and drop a comment. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? Don't forget to subscribe for more stories where karma comes served cold. Because trust me, you don't want to miss the next one.